This video is brought to you by ENEBA.com, a gaming marketplace with over 40,000 digital products and is continuously expanding to become your go-to platform for all your gaming needs. They offer the hottest deals on tons of games, old and new. From AAA to indie games, they've got what you need. Get games like Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord for $24, or even the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which should give you access to Oblivion Remaster for free. Please check out my links in the comments below, and now back to the video. What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a wonderful night or day. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the gathering and crafting system of Chrono Odyssey during the beta weekend, and my thoughts on what seemed to work, what can be improved, that sort of thing. It's no surprise that Chrono Odyssey has a lot of similarities to New World, both with the combat, the crafting, the storylines, the landscape. A lot of it's very similar. I'm sure you guys have also seen the clips about the keeps and how they're very similar to New World, like for capturing strongholds and probably going to be some kind of invasion mechanic. But I'm not here to talk about that today. What I really wanted to talk about is I did actually enjoy the Chrono Odyssey gathering and crafting system, the enhancement and armor and weapon system. One thing I did really like about it right from the rip is the fact that you could utilize the materials that were located in your bank while going to the crafting benches. I can't remember if it was stated anywhere, but I'm guessing this is localized as you move from town to town and not something you can do globally. I also really appreciated that the gear sets looked really nice in my opinion. During the test, this felt like a game that would of course have cash shop cosmetics, and they've already mentioned I think a battle pass, but wouldn't be a situation where the coolest stuff is primarily found there. I found myself being super satisfied with the tier 3 armor I crafted by the end and was still wanting to craft and try out more. I was sad that the questline for the tier 3 ancient gear wasn't working because I really would have liked to try that one on too. As far as the gathering process itself, I'm still racking my brain with it a little bit, but I did find it a little slow, primarily when you were trying to chop mature trees. I feel like every time I upgraded my tools, it did get a little bit better, but those overall I think might have taken a little bit too long. As far as the gathering, tool crafting, and processing, it's about what you would expect. I said on the Reddit before the test that one thing I also appreciated was the fact that we could earn character experience from doing crafting and gathering. I'm hoping that's something they'll really stick to throughout the game's lifespan. I also liked how there were multiple resources you could use to process something. For red lumber, for example, there were 2 types of wood you could use to refine it. I think it was branches and the wood itself or something like that, but it felt good to see. I also noticed that the bounty merchant allowed you to buy crafting materials so you could funnel your crafting profession through fighting if you wanted, although I think this might have come with some kind of limit per day or something. That also goes for the first mini dungeon we do near the lighthouse. For getting primitive iron, you could either go in there and gather it after killing the NPCs, or you could find it out in the open world. I usually found them located in areas where field bosses were running around. I also love the fact that when it came to the trading posts, you could see the lowest prices for the item you were trying to list was. It felt like a pretty seamless trading post process overall. Something I'm still on the fence about is if they should add something like a town board system like New World had. I think early on there were a few problems with it because streamers could just buy a bunch of materials with the gold they were gifted and power level. But one thing I did like about Quinfall's system is that you could do that, but you were limited to how many you could do per day. Although it does introduce the behavior that even I fell prey to, where some players may feel compelled to just log in and buy the materials, turn in the town boards, and log out to the next day. But at the same time, it does keep the economy flowing and players at least logging in while waiting for updates versus not logging in at all. I also really like their system of randomized attributes and affixes being applied at the time of crafting. I think it'll keep things balanced and prevent players from just crafting the best stuff right away. One thing I did notice that was weird though, unless I was blind, was that you couldn't see the armor type of the armor you were crafting until after you fully crafted it. I felt like I was going crazy, but I couldn't seem to find a confirmation of if it was heavy, medium, or light until after I finalized the crafting or checked the broker/my inventory. I do really hope that throughout the game's lifespan, crafting remains one of the prime ways to get the best in slot gear. I think often crafters in MMOs kind of take a back seat once raiding and more intense PvP gets introduced. But so far I think that's all my thoughts on the crafting system as a whole. I didn't get a chance to really play around that much with the enhancement system, but from what I've heard, I'm glad that they decided to reduce some of the risk associated with that. All in all, I just hope they never introduce anything into the cash shop related to it, and I seriously hope we never have to worry about our gear being destroyed upon failure. I think past a certain point, downgrade chance could be balanced, but I always hated when a game had a chance of full-on gear destruction. Please let me know what you guys thought about the game's crafting and gathering system in the comments below, and have a great rest of your day, folks. Farewell.